On Talking Smack, The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Sorry, I'm
Here we go.
trying to get a time cue here. The Miz and Daniel Bryan had an exchange, and I think everyone's heard about it by now. But it set the Twitter world on fire, the internet, whatever you want to call it, on fire, because Daniel Bryan pretty much called The Miz out and said, "You wrestle like a coward." And it was funny that he said it this way. He said, "When I was on the Indies and I was coming up, damn, I should have copied that clip, but it's like 3 minutes long." He said, when I was coming up on the Indies, I would look at, okay, who do I want to pattern my style after and who do I not? And he said, when I looked at the WWE style at that time, it was very, holding back, and you wrestled like a coward, and you epitomized that style. And I immediately went, okay, I don't want to wrestle like that. And Miz came unglued, and I know there's people are still debating whether or not it was a work or a shoot or whatever the case may be, but the Miz came unglued. It was just like, I'm a coward, and started taking shots at Bryan about, who's a coward? You told the people you'll be back in a year to fight for this championship, and guess what? You're not here. And then Bryan said, hey, if they let me, I would be because I feel like I'm healthy. And then the Miz came back at him and was like, well, if you were so brave and WWE is the ones who won't let you wrestle, then why don't you go back to the bingo halls and, if you're so brave and tough. And Bryan walked off. Everyone and their fucking mother starts sucking on the Miz, and I don't
The
understand it.
Miz is the biggest bitch in professional wrestling. I'll go on record saying that. The bitch lost Tough Enough. He was a bitch the whole time he was on professional wrestling the first time. He complained about everything every fucking week. The Miz is a little girl. He only got favored because guess what? Vince liked him. Fuck him.
Man, I thought I was gonna be the one to rant, but fucking hey, dude. but
Oh,
but no,
fuck, fuck,
yeah, it's like
fuck. There's a couple more. Just because I have some more time today.
that's all right.
Fuck.
But look, I'll give the Miz his due. He went through Bill DeMott's Deep South Wrestling. Okay, got to be tough on some level to get through that. He did survive some hazing by JBL in the WWE early on because he was an asshole and they kicked him out of the locker room. So he did survive some of that, came through it, but at the same time, he's never drawn a dime. People don't care. The only run he had when people were semi interested is when he was catapulted to the world title. And although, almost like Sheamus, yes, maybe there's one or two fleeting moments where people gave a shit about the guy. No one has given a shit because he's not that good. Yes, okay, is he mentally tough to make it through all that? Absolutely. Is he passable at times in the ring? Passable at best. But that doesn't mean that you're like the greatest and all this shit. Like, people were actually saying, "Oh, he's showing why he's been employed for 15 years." And I came out and said, "No," and this is in a Facebook group. I said, "No, the reason he was employed for 10 years, and this maybe will make the YouTube sound clip, I hope. The reason The Miz had a job with WWE for 10 years after he stunk up the joint was because he looks good on a poster. He had the real world cred for the crossover stuff. He never says no, and he never passes up a 5 a.m. radio call for publicity. That's why. He's a good little soldier. And if you're passable in the ring and you're a good little soldier, then you get opportunities and WWE keeps you around. So that's why he was employed for that long. And people were like, oh no, that's not true. He's good. He just hasn't been given a chance. And I'm like, hasn't been given a chance? How many guys like Cesaro, or even a couple months ago, Kevin Owens, or other guys who have been knocking it out of the park from a work rate standpoint, who could hold a Intercontinental Championship or a U.S. title or whatever the case, how many times have we seen guys over the years, or Daniel Bryan when he first came in? Daniel Bryan was on Tough Enough. The Miz was his big, or his coach, or whatever the fuck it was. Daniel Bryan was, far and away, at least to us who had been watching him, much better, much more seasoned than The Miz. And they kept treating Daniel Bryan like he was this punk rookie, and The Miz was fucking gold. when everyone knew the difference. And then when Daniel Bryan did upset him, not bested him, upset him for the U.S. title, and then it went right back to the Miz a couple months or a couple weeks later. It didn't last very long. So there have been times when they have taken the Miz, like right now with the Intercontinental title during the draft. It was a joke.
It's when you literally get to hear the fans go, bullshit.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
And not just
Every
that.
time the dude enters the fucking stadium, doesn't matter whether he's the fucking challenger of the match, the champion of the match, doesn't matter. Every time the dude enters anywhere,
Case in point.
you always hear with the Miz, bullshit.
You don't even hear anything. Most times there's nothing.
Bullshit.
Most of the times there's nothing.
Or even, or exactly like you said right there. You hear nothing. You hear absolutely nothing.
It is the deafening silence of apathy. And case in point on this whole thing, when you are in an act where you're in a tag team, the most over part of the tag team is the guy doing the ridiculous stunt double gimmick, and you are second fiddle, yet they're still pushing you as the star, and then after it all is said and done and they end the angle and blow it off, he is released because they have nothing for him. You are the Intercontinental Champion with an interview segment every single week. That explains my point right there. It's because someone likes you because you're a good little soldier. Now again, I'm not personally angry about The Miz because it's a fucking TV show. It's just the reaction that everyone has given him, like he's the second coming of CM Punk. It's ridiculous, and I don't understand it.